Hello, this is it. Who is this? BitBoy? BitBoy called it? Oh my God, I got to hang up a special right now because my God, we called it once Grayscale filed for an XRP ETF. That's right. Wall Street is coming rushing in to the XRPL world as we are looking at now NASDAQ pushing an XRP ETF. Let's get it.
What's good, bro? I just heard Bitcoin hit 100K a coin. Yeah, that's right. Crypto is popping again.
It's crypto season. This is our time.
Well, help me out, bro. I want to get in.
Check it. If you looking for what's cooking right, here's where the chef will be. Live stream with BitBoy X for the recipe. With bull market energy, the winners be showing up and fighting for your life. And watch the prices been blowing up. Watch them cook.
Welcome to the BitBoy X morning show. I am your humble host, the BitBoy. This is the home, of course, of the Bit Squad, which is the highest IQ investors in all the interwebs. GM, everyone. Guys, but as we get the show going here, I would like to say, I was right. No, that's not what I want to say. I do want to just kind of lay out at the end of the show today, I'm going to be showing some things and talking about my relationship with AJ Writes Crypto. And we're going to be talking about his affidavit and some things that he has talked about or he has sworn under oath are true that are going to absolutely shock you. And we're going to talk about that at the end of the show if you're interested in hanging out. And then also, I do want to let everybody know, man, we are putting out a video today. I think we're going to put it out at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not 100% on that. We'll authenticate. Don't trust, verify. We will authenticate the time the video will be coming out a little bit later in the afternoon on the channel. So watch for the community tab on the BitBoy X YouTube channel. If you're on Twitter, go over there and you can find that information out. We post it on Twitter about the same time. And this video is going to rock people if you actually watch it and process it. This is going to absolutely rock people and change the narrative of what people believe happened and the overthrow of my company. It was literally organized crime. It is a RICO conspiracy. This is not BitBoy yelling, oh yeah, the largest company's mad. And we're going to demonstrate this to you today, focusing mainly on the famous BitBoy Lamborghini. And you guys are going to be shocked at what you see. We have smoking gun evidence that we have not revealed before on YouTube at all. And we might have actually posted this on Twitter at some point. I don't know if it got cleaned up or it didn't. But what I do know is people don't understand what they were looking at even when they saw it. And you guys are going to understand in this video along with a lot of other stuff. You said we're going to run that as a premiere. And Cassie, the Duchess of DeFi, my lovely lady, she is going to be in the chat, and so am I, live in the premiere. If you guys have questions, as you guys are watching it, and you want to watch it live, we're going to be there, and you can ask, and we're going to ask questions, answer it live in the audience, and we're going to watch out for you-know-who. If you guys don't know, Hit Network has an entire bot army that they use of negative comments, and that's why you might go on Twitter, and you might see something that's got, like, no interaction, but it's got 6 comments on it, and it's all negative. It's because they have bots they run nonstop, and if I don't hit, it's an extra manual step to hit, verified users only, then they just run rampant. They do in the YouTube comments as well. I'm now to the point where I have isolated so much of what they do. I don't even think anybody really thinks anything negative about me anymore, pretty much. It's just I always assume it's them. So we won't talk about that till the end of the show. So more on that a little bit later, but wanted to let you guys know about that video. It is going to change things. If you are in the Bit Squad, you are going to want to watch that video today. BitBoy Bootcamp, I think our plan is to launch, I think, next Monday. I think that's official. Maybe Molly can 100% verify that. But it's phenomenal content. You guys are going to it's amazing. It's amazing. You guys are going to absolutely love the BitBoy Bootcamp. We've got videos, modules, boot camps, free content, the whole thing. Today, guys, we're talking about NASDAQ. NASDAQ, a major company in the cryptocurrency world now. A major company in TradFi. Now, coming into crypto, screaming about XRP, and it's almost like we told you that none of this really mattered until one of the big boys came in. And last week, Grayscale filed for an XRP ETF, or maybe it was the week before. I think it was last week. I think it was Monday, if I remember correctly. And now we've got that. We know now it is going to happen. It is going to get approved. We don't know if it's the very next time it comes up. They like to delay these things. It might be a way they flood the market even. That's what they do. But it will happen. It will happen. It is getting approved now. And now you're seeing NASDAQ come in. So we're going to have more on that story here in First Mover in just a moment, or that's our plan for tomorrow anyways, to move the first story to First Mover because it only makes sense. Guys, I do want to talk about in drill bits today. We've gotten rid of altcoin spotlight because we're going to organically integrate. Look, guys, this is very important. It doesn't really relate to the BitBoy X quote of the day, so it's not a fantastic segue here. But what I would like to say is we are now, this show, you can look at it kind of in three parts, okay? If you want the news, you come at the beginning of the show. We're going to talk about the news. We're going to talk about the overview of the show. We're going to talk about the news, the biggest story. We're going to get in depth with that stuff. Then in the middle of the show, we're going to be moving to like charts and markets, and we're going to look at those things. Then the last third of the show is going to be our educational piece. And this is going to be where I'm going to be teaching you guys some stuff that we're also going to be integrating into the free part of the boot camp and the drill bits part. But we're going to be showing you guys what is happening in crypto across many, many, many different fields. And if you want to get a piece of all the fields, then you're going to want to sign up for the BitBoy Boot Camp. We're going to have a ton of, the X Academy at the BitBoy Boot Camp is going to be our kind of pay per month overview module thing, and then the boot camps are the more in depth, and when we have a free one that's going to have some organized segments as well. Today, it's this kind of led from the RWA theme last week. Guys, we are going to teach you more about AI in crypto than any other channel can come close to, and I'm not talking about just in the crypto world. I'm talking about anywhere. There's no channel that will be able to show you in depth the reality of what's happening in the world of AI and crypto than you're going to see over the next 6 weeks. We're going to do 6 weeks of AI themed shows. Every week, it's going to be a different theme. This week, I think, what's the theme this week? Do we know? I know what we're covering this week. Today is introduction to AI, but I did post that in, let me see where I posted that at in Slack. Do I have Slack open? I do. Let me go look. I think Ashley asked about it in the morning show thing, and I posted the link to it. Not from last week.
It's AI week, baby.
It is AI week. It is AI week.
We got like a couple of weeks of AI, don't we?
A couple weeks. Oh, here it is. I was in the wrong one. Yeah, we have 6 weeks of AI. We're doing 6 weeks of AI. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting this week. This is ASI week. That's what it is. This is ASI week. We're going to be covering AGIX. We're going to be covering ASI, the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. We're going to be covering Fetch. We're going to be covering Ocean. I now know those three projects in and out. I know everything about those three projects now. And so right now, I'm still kind of in the by Friday, when we do ASI, I'm going to know much more about it. What I'm working to figure out now is I know so much about these three coins. Why are they all moving into one coin? Like they're giving up their use case, I guess, and it's all Fetch now. I think that's it. But they're all doing the same thing. They're all combining into one platform. And if that's true, and I want to see what this thing's going to look like, or they're talking about it, because combining these things is going to be massive down the road, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. So we're going to, by Friday, you'll know more about the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. But today we're talking about introduction to AI, and then we're going to be talking about ASI and all the projects that make that up this week. Next week, we're going to be getting into AI compute and decentralized infrastructure, or DePIN. So we're going to be taking a look at storage networks that relate to AI and things like that. We'll be covering projects such as Render, Akash, NuNet, BitTensor, or Tau. Yeah, so that'll be next week. The week after, we're going to be looking at AI-oriented blockchain. So we're going to be covering in depth ICP, Near, BitTensor, Hypercycle, and we're going to be looking at, why an AI blockchain? What does that mean? What does that integrate? And man, it's really fascinating stuff if you know what it's doing. The following week, we're going to be taking a look at AI agents and autonomous AI networks, taking a look at projects like Fetch. Again, we'll take a look at twice. Autonomous, which I don't even know what that one is yet. Singularity DAO, which I do know. AI16Z, that's the agent one that we've looked at on the project or on the channel before. We're going to be looking at SWE, how it integrates with AI, because it's doing some fascinating stuff, and it may be even more advanced by then. Following week, we're going to be taking a look at decentralized data and privacy. We'll be taking a look at projects like the Graph and Ocean Protocol. That's what Ocean Protocol is data exchange. That's what it is. It tokenizes data in ways that can keep it private, so things can take out what it needs without seeing the actual confidential part, but it could take some of that into context maybe when giving an answer. Really fascinating stuff. I'm telling you, ain't nobody do it like BitBoy. That's what you guys are going to find out. Then the next week, we are going to be taking a look at AI-driven automation and identity, and we'll be taking a look at projects like ChainGPT, Cortex, ABT, ELIZA, which is a AI language, IQ, Numeraire, Virtuals Protocol, SWE again, and somewhere in there, I think we'll take a look at ArcBlock, and also I think we should be taking a look at ALF. I know a lot of people want to know because we were kind of big on that project a little bit earlier last year. And we're going to show you about all that. We're going to be showing you guys platforms, how to use things. And then if you're going to want the actual training on how to use this stuff for real and actually generate money more than, hey, BitBoy told me about this, you guys are going to learn about that over in the BitBoy Bootcamp. So, okay, guys, quote of the day. Let's move on to the quote of the day before we get to the news. And guys, I'm not going to lay out what we're going to be doing every week, every day. There's just, you don't get that for 6 weeks. On Monday, we'll talk about what we're doing that week, and that'll be it. And as we transition into whatever's next, which I don't know what it'll be 6 weeks from now, then we'll let you guys know. So you're getting everything you want every day, and then you're also going to be getting, of course, this education. So successful investing is about managing risk, not avoiding it. And this is from Benjamin Graham. And how could this relate to crypto? Well, you know, as XRP ETF discussions are heating up, institutions must weigh risk and reward, just like savvy crypto investors. Let's see. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Said the video quality is bad. Is that true?
I'm watching it on my phone on Twitter. You look like in 4K, dude. You're good. Oh. It's just a bozo being a bozo.
Yeah, I figured it was.
He's got his 500 megabytes per second. So,
you know,
1.21 gigawatts, man. Literally, I'm watching it. I saw the comments. Everybody says we're fine. We're fine.
It's just the first one that was in my eye level. That's all.
Yep.
Guys, Super Bowl last night. Let's talk about that. You guys know AJ Wright's crypto. He was there. He was at the Super Bowl with his mom and I think maybe his sister. I wasn't sure who all was there. He's put some pictures out. Man, phew. You want to talk about a shellacking? Was that look? That was not the worst Super Bowl of all time by a long shot. There have been some really bad. I think actually the worst Super Bowl of all time is the Rams and Patriots. That was not the one with Kurt Warner and Tom Brady. The one with Jared Goff and Tom Brady. 25 years later, whatever it was. But that was a terribly boring Super Bowl. At the end of the game, it was so bad that kind of players looked around. You could tell like they were celebrating and like they knew they won the Super Bowl, but it was kind of like, did we? Like this was a bad game. What was it, like 9-3, 12-9, 12-6, something like that? So anyways, point is, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. I love Jalen Hurts. I think he's a great player. I don't really in my history like the Eagles very much or Philadelphia. Love you people from Philadelphia that love me. If you like me, I like you. Don't worry about that. It's easy. People know that about me. If you like me, I like you. It's very easy. Very easy. If you don't like me, I don't like you. Like it's very simple. Easy with me. Extremely easy. So the whole thing is that man, I just wanted to shout out congratulations to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. You guys know I do love football. It was not the most boring by a long shot because of how disastrous it was for Patrick Mahomes, who we've seen be so perfect forever. He couldn't do anything last night. It was like
nothing. I think in the third quarter he still didn't have a touchdown.
Yeah, and you even watch. He had 23 yards at halftime. You even watched when he would throw the ball. It was just when he would get the throws off on the first drive that they completed. They had very well scripted. It was still snap, snap, boop. Because I guess they just knew that Georgia Bulldogs defense was going to bring it. Or is that not Georgia Bulldogs defense there for the Philadelphia's? It's like 75% of our teams for the last few years. It seriously is a lot of our players, Jalen Carter and I can't remember the big guy's name, but several of those guys. But anyways, we'll move on talking crypto. But I did want to talk. Let's
smash a like for sports ball.
Smash a like if you like sports ball. Actually, that
was a double negative.
Fake news when you hit the low IQ button about sports ball. Okay, let's move on.
What are we going to?
Newsfeed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I supposed to cover. Newsfeed. I forgot I was going to cover the top story, and then I didn't. We're going to start covering the top story in news and first mover, and then move to newsfeed.
Gotcha.
But guys, if you guys like that, we're always trying to prioritize what will give you the best show. Make sure to smash that like button. Is what we like to do. Okay, guys, number one story. NASDAQ, of course. NASDAQ has now filed. They are now pushing for a coin shares XRP ETF approval. Now, NASDAQ is not actually, so NASDAQ has not actually filed their own ETF. Okay, maybe I misspoke in the beginning if I said that. But NASDAQ is pushing for the coin shares XRP ETF approval is what it is. So NASDAQ is now showing how to connect the traditional world and our crypto world, which is just absolutely amazing. Because guys, I'm going to know tomorrow everything about NASDAQ. I just realized, you know what? I need to do the same thing I did with the treasury and yield stuff I didn't understand. You guys know something else I don't really 100% get, because I'm honest with you guys. I don't really understand like the Intercontinental Exchange, ICE, that owns the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, and then you have NASDAQ, and then you have what's another one? There's some other
the S&Ps and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like all that stuff. I don't know what any of that stuff is. I don't know the difference between any of it other than like New York Stock Exchange is the biggest one, I think. But I don't even know, NASDAQ isn't an exchange. It's like a collection of things. So don't tell me what it is in the comments. I'm going to go. I will show you guys. Here's what I will do. Tomorrow when we come on the show, we will do an article on New World Finance that will basically break down a lot of what I just mentioned. And it'll be the result of me today going and making it a priority to learn it in and out. And then tomorrow I'll come talk about it real quick and show you like we're just masterful at this. Why? Is it because I'm not smart? I am in Mensa. It is time for my renewal. I am definitely going to renew after 20 years of not renewing. But that doesn't matter. No, it's not because I'm smart. That's just additional. Okay. Why? Because I'm learning to use AI tools in ways that are so tailored to me that I can learn entire subjects in and out in less than an hour. Because it's everything that I want to know that I don't understand about it. And once you have that base knowledge of those things, it makes learning so much easier. And that's why the BitBoy Bootcamp is going to be far better than anything that you've ever touched before. We're integrating these tools into what we're going to teach you, so you don't have to go learn how to do all this stuff. We're going to show you over time in the bootcamp. As soon as our AI layer is going to come on, it's probably not going to be for about 6 weeks or maybe 12 weeks before the AI layer comes on. But anyways, so then we'll talk more about NASDAQ tomorrow. But this story, guys, is just absolutely massive for XRP. Either way, it doesn't matter. NASDAQ is filed for CoinShares, XRP, and Litecoin ETFs. So I don't understand what this means. I told you earlier, I don't even really understand the mechanics of what even that means. Following CoinShares S1 submission last month, the SEC's decision is highly anticipated, especially after rejecting Solana ETF filings. We had this big debate over what XRP versus ETF filings are going to get approved first. Analysts believe the Litecoin ETF may be the first approved under Trump's administration due to its commodity classification. I think we've always said here on the channel that Litecoin, it's a shoo-in for something like not being a security. And basically because of that, Litecoin's now a shoo-in for an ETF, I guess, if there's enough demand there. So we'll just have to see. It'll be really interesting. But this move, what this does is it follows. And what I'll do is tomorrow I'll come back in and I'll re-explain this story very briefly, understanding what NASDAQ is 100%. Look, it just shows you what a crypto teacher I am. That's what my lack of understanding of some of these simple things that just a normal TradFi person would know. This very low level. I don't know. It just shows you I've always been crypto first, but we're integrating, we're learning everything. But anyways, guys, this move is going to boost XRP liquidity. It's going to attract institutional capital and increase market exposure. Let's see here. The CoinShares ETF proposal aligns with the broader trend of crypto-based exchange trade products gaining traction. The Litecoin ETF may be the first. And I tell you guys, when I tell you to buy Litecoin, the market's dead. It's over. So even if that happens, I'm still not going to tell you to buy Litecoin. And when I start telling you to buy Litecoin, that's how you know that the bull market is done. We've already explained that to our audience. It's how we're going to exit liquidity on all the new people. That sounds really bad, but guess what? You're not the new person. You're going to benefit. That's the way markets work, guys. Sorry. It just really is the truth. Okay, guys. We are also going to be, this is also signals. I thought this was just a massive thing here, is that regulatory clarity around Ripple's legal victory has made XRP a strong candidate for institutional investment. It was always what I told you. The credibility of this channel has just got to be off the charts when it comes to XRP, because what did we tell you about XRP the entire time? We told you direct from Mr. X. It was a setup. It was never real. It was always set up to build trust in the market that XRP was legitimate in order to boost us in to the next generation of decentralized finance. And some people want to say decentralized I call it TradeFi. That's where we're at, the corner of centralized finance, TradFi, and DeFi. Okay. Also, guys, SEC is yet to confirm its stance on this, but NASDAQ's involvement adds credibility to the effort. What's going on with Palantir? Is that Peter Thiel's company? What is Palantir?
I don't actually know.
Yeah, look that up really quick. But guys, one thing to think about here is that while a lot of people are looking at XRP's approval, okay, the approval of the Litecoin ETF could be the biggest game changer of this entire market. Why? That sounds drastic, doesn't it? And I would still tell you not to buy Litecoin. Isn't that crazy? I would still tell you not to buy Litecoin. And when I do tell you to buy it, it's good. They're going to really mess me up and this could be, I don't know if you guys know, but the universe conspires both to help me sometimes and to hinder me sometimes. And this would be a really great way to confuse me permanently for the rest of this bull run on this channel is if Litecoin were to actually become something really bullish. And I have said that it's so dead that when I start saying buy it, that's how the smart people that have been watching are going to know to get out of the market. But what if Litecoin really was like, it's not going to. Okay. But the approval of the XRP or of the Litecoin ETF could be an even bigger game changer, not for the price of XRP, but for the entire market. Why? Because it sets a precedent that any coin that can come meet with Trump's new SEC and convince it that it is not a security immediately goes under the jurisdiction of the CFTC, led by who? Caroline Pham. Caroline Pham recently said she was launching a pilot program for crypto. I don't know if it was crypto development or approval, but whatever it was, Mr. X sent it to me. Why are we saying all this? Because any coin that's not a security immediately will meet the criteria for an ETF because it's a commodity. Commodity-based ETFs in crypto is what we're talking about here. That's the secret game changer, and that's why it would probably be Litecoin that would be first because it's like the lamest and most normal one. So it's fast. Now, look, I want to give Litecoin its due. I certainly did use Litecoin a good bit in my day. Litecoin, back in the early days when we only had, Justin, what coins did we have on Coinbase in the early days? Do you remember?
Man, I want to say that it was literally Bitcoin, Ethereum Cash, XRP, and Litecoin. Like that's it.
Man, you're really overshooting it. But you certainly named some that are on there. It was Bitcoin only. And then I think you just misspoke. I think you said Ethereum Cash. You meant Bitcoin Cash, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you meant Bitcoin Cash. I think you just misspoke. You said, because you said Bitcoin, Ethereum Cash. So you did name, I guess, did you name Litecoin?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would have named them all except for XRP was not on Coinbase. It was in January of 2018. It was announced by Brian Armstrong. They weren't adding any new things anytime soon. At the hype of the XRP mania of it being added in 2017 to 2018. And that shot it down, and it did not get added until I think it was 2019 or 2020, early 2020, maybe, potentially. So, but yes, Bitcoin Cash, it was Bitcoin only first. Then they added Ethereum and Litecoin. I think it was the summer of 2017, I believe. And then they added Bitcoin Cash. I think it was a couple weeks after the fork, maybe, I think, if I remember correctly. And that would have been in December, middle of December of 2017 at the top of the market. So you guys get the crypto history and how all this stuff is relevant. Litecoin's always been a major coin. I just don't think it is anymore, but it makes sense because of its strong foundational ties to being a commodity. It was always called digital silver, a fork of Bitcoin, a fork of the code of Bitcoin. It's a little bit different than Bitcoin Cash fork. It would always make sense that it's already laid the groundwork for what a commodity is. Now, here's the thing, though. If projects have to meet up to the criteria of Litecoin, there's not going to be that many. So I'm talking about in terms of the decentralization of the network. Sure, the founder gave up all his coins, sold all those things. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the next story, guys. We're going to move on to Newsfeed now. Officially, we did click it already, but it's fine. Guys, institutional crypto sentiment. A closer look at institutional interest in digital assets. If you guys want to check out this story, you guys can head on over to newworldfinance.io and read it. But I wanted to read this. A JP Morgan survey found that 71% of institutional traders don't plan to trade crypto in 2025. Weird. But this doesn't mean institutions are rejecting old or digital assets. Endowments, corporate treasuries, and state governments are quietly increasing exposure, signaling growing adoption despite market uncertainty. So, it's very interesting because I was actually looking at another story today. And if you give me just a second, Jay, I can actually, I remember I got to move. Oh yeah, I remember to do it. Look at that. So the point is that I wanted to, over in my other tab here is what I'll do. See, I can also use things over here. I'm going to pull up ChatGPT and I'm going to go into one of my chats and I want to pull out something. Sorry. You guys have to watch the video later to understand. Sorry. Okay. So anyways, I think I had a report done. And man, my AI led shows last week were going to be amazing. And it was actually just our equipment that failed. So, and it maybe me a little bit, but it was not the AI, just so you guys know. Jeannie was ready to go.
So I did not get replaced as the co-host.
No, guys, that's right. That was a narrative that was running, and Jay Chains, he's still around for a little bit, guys. I don't know. We'll see what happens, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. But anyways, there was a big story last night. No Super Bowl crypto commercials.
Oh, really?
Yeah, none.
I didn't even watch the game.
There wasn't. It was bad. It was a bad game for sure. But it was just, you kept thinking Patrick Mahomes was going to turn it on, and like that kept it interesting until it wasn't, and then that was interesting. But I did see Tom Brady give an interview where he said he still believed in Bitcoin, I believe, if somebody can correct me on that. I'll go to the chat here in just a few minutes after newsfeed before we move to the markets and check what the people are saying. But here is the thing I wanted to highlight. Let me actually highlight this, and I'm going to give me 1 second. Don't do anything yet. Okay. All right, guys, this is we will call this let's see, we will call this Genie working doc, and I'll put it somewhere. This is when we go to the AI and get some answers on some things on what's happening. And I wanted to read this, and okay, you can show this. It's not real formatted or anything, but I want to read this because this is so fascinating compared to what we just read, right? We just read, and watch what they say, not what they do. Watch what they say. No, that's not correct. Watch what they say and what they do, and then note the difference, and then figure out what they're actually doing, right? Because sometimes they're doing things to actually push other narratives, and that can get really interesting. It's very, advanced expert things for trading, but this is so fascinating. That number 71% is so fascinating. I just want to read you can pull this up. Institutional investment surge. Traditional institutions are increasingly jumping into crypto. University endowments and foundations. University of Austin, and no surprise there if you know crypto, is dedicating a $5 million Bitcoin fund for its endowment. Emory University here in Atlanta has a Bitcoin ETF. They disclosed $4.8 billion from the Rockefeller Foundation signaled it may boost crypto exposure. Oh man, almost like they need to be doing something now. But this is the important part I wanted to read. This trend marks a broader acceptance of crypto beyond just tech startups and hedge funds. Even academia and philanthropy, are getting on board. However, it's not universal. This is the same one. It is the same one. So it is didn't the other one say 71%?
Yeah, someone around there.
Did it say 71 or 72? I want to double check this. Am I crazy? I thought it said 71. Oh, yeah, I don't have it pulled up anymore, man. Oh, it's over here. It's on this one. Let me see. I want to double check here and see what it said. It says 71%. That's why it threw me off. It's probably 71.5 or something, and one went one way, one went the other. But the point is, we just went into all of this stuff about institutional adoption, just how much it's around, and then 72% aren't planning to trade it. And here's the big takeaway. I want to say my big takeaway, and then I'm going to get your point, Jay. Mm-hmm. The big takeaway is, boom, this is the opportunity. You're saying right now with where Bitcoin is, you're saying 72% of institutions still aren't paying attention? Wow, the entire market is going on blockchain. Absolutely amazing for our space. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that I learned in New York City during the Yondo thing is that it's kind of the best of all of these worlds, and really they are all chomping at the bit. But it kind of seemed like I had to think about this backwards, is that we've been saying institutional adoption is already here. Now we're seeing the government do it, and they'll say to retail like it's cool. But while the institutions have been here and messing around, it almost seemed like they needed the government to say like we're moving on that track for them to be able to do it. And that's like from the CFTC, from a lot of, I mean, there were some pretty big name guests there, and they all kind of said the same point, is like we really needed the government to give us the go ahead. Now, I mean, like Visa, MasterCard, like every major financial institution that offers credit and all this stuff, they're ready to jump full in. Like now they are.
Look, let me tell you. I mean, the smart people in finance have been looking at crypto forever.
Yep.
And the smartest, most elite people saw very early what was coming with this, and they usurped it from the people that created it. I'm just telling you what happened. And everybody believes a lot of things, but it is now being used for the purposes of the elites and the corporations and the hedge funds. However, that does not mean that we do not still have massive opportunity. And what you're going to see is the idea of decentralization on this channel. Today, we're going to start. You're going to watch as we are slowly on this channel going to be moving the ideals of what this channel represented and began on the other channel to mean what this channel was about. It was about decentralization and about breaking free of corporate controls and breaking free of one-man decision makers that are able to destroy people's lives and families' income just with one decision that they don't care about, like they were some AI 200 years from now that just makes decisions and kills us. Sorry, I don't think that's going to happen maybe in 200 years. So the point is, I really went off track. What was I talking about? What was the last thing I was saying there?
I think institutional
adoption. I'm talking about the end. Talking about AI.
Here, I'll throw one more thing out there. Yeah. So this woman, she's the CIO. Her name is Samara Cohen, the CIO, the Chief Investment Officer of BlackRock. Like in some of the stories that she was talking about in her personal anecdotes, like she was talking about like, man, this is like 5+ years ago, how she was talking about she could buy Bitcoin for in about 2 minutes at that point. And I mean, she worked for BlackRock, and she's like ultimately now probably a DJ like all of us and get onto, you know, Phantom Wallet and buy some. She probably doesn't. That's a joke.
How much does this just drive home, you know, kind of, you know, what we've been saying about all this stuff the whole time, which is the institutions and RWAs. This is the future of the space. This is where this is going. And like, this is why I will get back on saying what I was saying, which was you're going to watch this channel shift those ideals that we started with into AI, because we now have, believe it or not, I know this is going to be shocking to people and you're not going to understand it probably. It's time for me personally to move my mission to somewhere other than crypto. And I know that sounds crazy. You're like, what in the world? Why? This is going to sound even crazier. Because we won already. We did it. I started out this channel, my brand, whatever. I started out in crypto to forge a new world. I knew the day I sat down and started my first video, that was a legitimate video. It wasn't me like making cartoons, that I wanted to change the world. I literally thought things like, man, you know, I'm a Christian. Man, there's like end of the world stuff in the Bible, man. And it sounds a lot like what I'm going to probably help push and promote like crazy. It's like, what was my role? Like I'm supposed to be doing this. I know this is what I was built to do. It's what I was born to do, is this. And it felt in the early days, I was a youth pastor at the time. And it was like, what? I was working in a Christian nonprofit. And I was like, I feel a little weird about this. Like, you know, it's like, you know, New World Order, like NWF, you know. The world we laid out, we are here now. We now have the rails available to live a decentralized life, being responsible for your own funds, being able to lock up certain things under security, but most importantly, to be able to have things that are decentralized. As we go through this AI week, you're going to learn much more about things that are decentralized. And we're going through a process here where ultimately we want to keep from getting to where AI runs everything, because then they don't need us. But there's a middle spot. There's a middle spot in the middle. And I believe that that's my mission, is to help lead us to that spot. And decentralization We won in crypto. We won in blockchain. We now have the technology to do the things we wanted to do. And I think the decentralizing AI is mankind's biggest task right now, I believe. And so I'm going to take my crypto skills and expertise, and we're going to train people on the BitBoy Bootcamp. But just know personally, this is my next mission, and this is what I'm doing. So you're going to watch. We're going to talk a lot about AI this week. We're doing crypto. We're always a crypto channel. Always going to talk crypto and blockchain. But personally, my mission, and it doesn't work in only blockchain anymore. We have to get to AI, because anytime you involve mankind in a process, they're going to mess things up, right? That's why we're going to have AI checks on some of that stuff in the future, and then we'll have mankind checks on AI. That's a decentralized world, right? That's what I hope people really get from the mission of what I want to do. So I think that all that just really lines up, guys, with what we were talking about here, which is institutional investing. It needs to be automated as well in AI led. So, all right, let's move on to the next story. I really went off. Man, I was doing really good staying on task.
For the most part, you did. It was good.
I think that's important. And I want to know more. I think we should do a video I think you should do a video on this channel, or maybe we should do an interview or something.
Yeah.
Where you talk about.
I'd love to.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I wish I was there. It looks so fun. Well, I heard they were going to cancel it at first.
Really?
Yeah, but it went on, though. Ha ha! Checkers Grandmaster. Okay. MicroStrategy continues its Bitcoin accumulation. It bought a bunch of Bitcoin. It's $10 billion worth of Bitcoin. This is their new brand. Hidden insight here if you want to check it out. While many see MicroStrategy's continued Bitcoin accumulation as bullish, the real signal is its unwavering conviction in Bitcoin despite recent price corrections. By consistently buying at scale, MicroStrategy is paving a way for more institutional adoption. They bought more Bitcoin? Was that the whole story?
Are they back on?
Or is it? Yeah, they're back on. Okay, cool. Back on. Back on. Is this right? Is this date right? Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a, yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Just want to double check, we use AI tools. You still have to quality control check, and sometimes things get by. So by the way, if anybody ever finds an error on New World Finance, make sure you just say it in the chat here, or put it in comments, and I'm sure we'll see it at some point and go fix it. Because there are errors on that website. It's not a perfect website yet. We will get it there. It's not saying we're pushing wrong information or bad information. We're really using this primarily right now as a way to show the content for the channel without having to give promotion to all the crypto media organizations that have abandoned me during my time of need over the last 18 months. Every single one of them. All they want to do is talk about BitBoy and his fall. And you guys are going to find the corruptness of the media to cover up what really happened to me is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Okay, Klarna, next story. Or no, I want to go over this hidden insight here. Well, Macy Bitcoin's, no, we talked about that already. Actually, we already brought that in. The real signal is the unwavering conviction. Absolutely. MicroStrategy continues to have unwavering conviction in Bitcoin. Great job, Michael Saylor. Klarna embraces crypto ahead of $15 billion IPO, marking a major fintech shift. I don't know what Klarna is that much. Do you?
I've never heard of it.
Let's see what it says here. I think it's like a finance software company. Here it is. It's a Swedish fintech giant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
my my God. It's cryptocurrency services.
It's so nice. Yeah.
So nice. Yeah. Their CEO, Sebastian Simiatowski, humorously admitted on X that the company was the last major fintech firm to embrace crypto. Okay. That's a great move. Let's make sure that people can see this. I want to make this a little bit bigger here. This is really funny, guys. You have the CEO of this fintech company making a tweet basically implying that, like, oh man, I'm really sorry about that. We're the last company to come into crypto, but we're here. And I think that's a really good way to kind of salvage your image as a late adopter. So a lot of you guys need to be thinking about that with your cousin that told you about crypto every Thanksgiving for the last 20 years. I said 20. Okay. So, they got 85 million users, 500,000 merchants. How it could reshape fintech. Let's see. Believes their $96 billion gross merchandise value, or GMV, in 2023 could help build or drive billions in digital asset transactions. Remind me to look. Can you remind me out of the show to look into Klarna along with the other? Do you remember the other thing I was talking about? I will definitely remember. It was NASDAQ. Yeah, NASDAQ and Klarna I want to look into. I need to be a little more proactive now, and I need to look ahead of the show and see the things that it's just you take it for granted. I've say NASDAQ so much, I've just never really gone into like really knowing what it is or what's in there. An index what's it like a index fund or something that's like a really big one. That's something other than the. I didn't really know what an index fund is. Just a collection of stocks, I guess. I think. There's another big word that we haven't said yet. I think that is something to do with like maybe it's its own exchange. I don't know. Looking at Palantir. Okay, we're gonna look.
Index funds are a type of mutual funds.
Well, right. What's the biggest one?
Maybe Fidelity. I don't know. The S&P 500. Maybe.
There you go. That's the one. Standard & Poor's 500. I have no idea what that is. No clue. If you ask me right now, this is what I would say. I guess it's like the stocks of the top 500 companies. Is that it? Like that's a total guess, just on the name, and I am in Mensa. I actually am. That's not a joke for you new people. I'm going to look into Palantir in just a second.
Tracks the performance of about 500 of the largest publicly traded U.S. companies.
But it's not the 500.
No.
Got
tracks the performance. It doesn't say that. Of about 500 of the largest.
Got it. Okay. Well, I was pretty close then, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. What did I just say I was going to look up? I literally just said I was going to look up.
Klarna and NASDAQ?
No, I said something else. Not that. Or maybe it was in my brain. Maybe I didn't say it out loud, but I moved a tab over here and I opened a new one because I'm going to look up something very quickly and I can't remember what it was now. Okay. I don't think it was that because I had you doing that. So who knows? Who knows what I was going to say, guys? Maybe in the chat, you guys know. I don't know.
Well, if you guys were looking,
I was going to go to this. I was going to go here is what I was going to do. I was going to go. That's what I meant.
Palantir or whatever.
There you go. Palantir. I was going to do that too. Because I was going to Super Chat.
I did look up. Peter Thiel is co-founder and serves on the board of directors.
What's the story going on with that right now? And I'll answer Cameron's. He says, so we're going to talk about what Jeannie treated you last week. The no-shows, bad Jeannie. No, it was not Jeannie. Jeannie was great. It was seriously... It was the confusion of the way that I think we have some things set up, some like account stuff. And then day two, we had all that stuff straightened out and we were ready. And then as soon as we went live, I had no audio. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, because fixing audio live, as you guys have seen here before, is very difficult. And you're not really sure if it's fixed until a couple minutes later even. And I just knew that we had so many problems the day before, and now we got those fixed, and now we're opening up with, and it made no sense whether there was no microphone because I was using my phone. It should have just been my phone, video and audio. That's it. Boom. So anyway, so really sorry about the no-shows last week, but it was not Gene's fault. It was my fault. I'm going to make sure to send this transcript to him and cut the part out where I explain I'm sending the transcript to him so he sees what I said about him. Tether CEO warns of quantum computing risks to Bitcoin security. I tweet about this actually. Look, I have been told and I believe that SHA-256 Bitcoin encryption has already been broken. I believe it's been broken for quite some time due to quantum computing. I believe quantum computing has been in some ways used since 1981. You guys can look up. How did I forget his name? Renaissance Technologies is the name of the company, and I think it's Jim Simon. God, look up Renaissance Technologies and find the founder. I think this guy was using quantum technology, and I believe that's how he actually made so much money as a mathematician, and nobody knew that's what he was doing. He was far better than any other trader in history, became a billionaire as a mathematician, and I've been told things to back that up more than just looking it up. What's the name again?
Rentec.
It's not the fund. The fund is based on Rentec.
James Simons.
Jim Simons. It is Jim Simons. Okay, I had the name right. I was thinking it was Jim Simons, but it didn't sound right to me at the time.
Howard Morgan and James Simons are the founders.
Yeah, Jim Simons is the main smart guy there. The other guy may be really smart too. I don't know much about him. But you have the Tether CEO warning of quantum computing risks. And the thing is you have to understand is that people who would be able to use this and break this, they're so far ahead of the curve. Why would they have crypto? Why would they want to break this? It makes no sense. By the time the commercialization of quantum computing comes around, which is starting this year, and it will be over the course of the next 10 years, Bitcoin will have to upgrade. SHA-256 is going to be cracked by your average everyday hacker before you know it, once quantum computing technology becomes accessible to the average everyday American. And don't believe what they're telling you about, 20 years. No, it is now. They're just not wanting to unveil it because you have an interior corporate race over AI and all kinds of different things. And come on, guys. Like, we're in a world of knowing already. And all these corporations know everything about all the others are doing, and they're all using AI, and the AI is all pushing the same thing. And that's what we're going to talk about this week on the channel with some AI videos. So some dangerous things. But Paulo Adrino from Tether has said quantum computing could eventually break Bitcoin's cryptography, unlocking lost or inactive wallets. Oh, that's interesting, including Satoshi's. However, Bitcoin is expected to implement quantum-resistant encryption before this becomes a real threat. So if you want to find out a little bit more about what he said, there's 1.1 million Bitcoin linked to Satoshi. That's actually not 100% proven. That's the general idea, and most people believe and say that. There's actually a range. I think it's like a cat and whisker plot or scatter plot graph. I can't remember exactly the chart they use to look at the activity level of the early nodes of Bitcoin related to the Bitcoin mining and the addresses and the transactions. And they actually believe that Satoshi actually had somewhere between 600,000 to 1.1 million Bitcoin. So it's not actually, 1.1 is the number you're going to hear everybody say. I think it's closer to 800,000 or 900,000 probably was actually him. And I think there were other people involved in the beginning, and we know that. So why is it so crazy that he didn't have, I think 1.1 was collectively owned by most of the people that were involved in the earliest days of Bitcoin, or maybe came in on the transition. As I've told you guys before, it has been usurped. Okay, so quantum advancements could force Bitcoin to move. Some believe the risks are overblown. I think it's already cracked. Quantum computing is still years away from practical application. That's what the media says. We take this information from the news and the articles, but we tell you what we believe to be true. And here's the thing. Bitcoin is expected to implement the quantum resistant stuff before anything ever happens on the blockchain. And it's actually a real threat. Telling you, even though I'm telling you what I'm telling you, it's still not a threat to Bitcoin. You guys are going to come to understand, I think, in the following week, you guys are going to come to understand, I believe, why AI is the future of everything. And all of this stuff is so important that we get it decentralized, and because it's going to need Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. It needs it. AI needs it. Think about this. I want you to think about this. Without cryptocurrency and blockchain, okay, AI could not operate in the world of finance and do what it needs to do. It could not. That's all Web 2 stuff. You can't hook up to your bank. What? How? It can read your account, maybe. Every time it tries to do something, the bank's going to ask for a verification. And it can do some of that stuff, but it's always going to be limited. Blockchain is what breaks it off and puts it on the rails of unlimited access and decentralization, which is so important for fairness. So what did I say I was going to do at the end of the segment? Do you remember? Did I do it? Was it in the last segment? Yeah, I think it was in the last segment. Maybe. You remember? Man, I thought I was doing...
Are we grabbing the coin? Is there a coin to look at? No, I don't know. We're going to morning pump next, right?
Was that? Yeah, it's time. It's morning pump it. Oh, I remember what I said. Morning pump. I said I was going to go to chat. Let's see what they're doing in the chat. So what did you find about Palantir? What's happening with it? Do you know? Or are they saying they want me to deep dive into it? You didn't find any news?
No.
You click news?
I didn't see any news about it.
Okay, let me go check it out. Let me do a little research. Palantir conspiracy. Let's see what that says. Palantir has been accused of potential war crimes.
What?
During the 2023 Israel-Hamas war. Is this the new stuff? Is this just happened? Wow, look, this is an article from 2013. How a self-described deviant philosopher turned Palantir. Oh, is that an article about Peter Thiel? Oh, Alex Karp, who's that guy?
He's the CEO, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, that's not Peter Thiel. We should look into this. I need to find out much more about this because I don't know. People believe that Palantir was created by the U.S. government. That's what they're saying. That's what he's saying, I think. This was 3 months ago. Wow. Okay, well, I tell you guys what. Where is my script elf? I have a script elf. You know what? No script elf. I'm going to do this one myself. I will do this myself. Now that you showed me how you do what you do. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. But it's been linked to Trump, linked to Cambridge Analytica. It says here, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. I'm going to look more into it. This is more than just something that just happened. I did not see the William Dafoe pickleball commercial. That's really sad. Guys, make sure to smash the like button. It is the number one thing that you can do. The number one thing that you can do to help the channel. Jason says he misses when we used to do high-level interviews with crypto founders. Well, I think we're going to start doing some of those at some point. I'm going to start with J-Chains.
There you go. Ask away.
Yeah, I certainly had some different times where we had some things scheduled, and it's just it's another thing. Guys, you have to understand, this is why it's so important that I take back my credibility. I have to take it back because nobody's going to give it to me now. I see. They say you're supposed to be humble, you're supposed to sit back and just let stuff happen. No, fuck that. I'm sorry. I'm going to do what I do, and it's much better than the people that do what I do. And we're going to show the reality of the situation, and we're going to get my credibility back. I think by the end, I think I was going to put out a video every day. I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put one out. I'm going to give it one full day of breathing room, and then we'll do the next one. Probably do every other day schedule, because you guys have got to understand what we have planned is to tag anybody and everybody who will listen to what happened if you believe what I'm telling you. And you guys are going to see there's proof, there's receipts 100% for everything I've said. And I'm the only person that's never changed my story the whole time. You guys are going to see story changes in this very video today. And I need to get my credibility back, Jason. I need people to once again believe that I know what I'm talking about and that I didn't steal any money from my own company. Like, you guys understand the argument here is that I brought TJ in, and in the 4 months while he was working for me, or 6 months while he was working for me before we officially started business, I spent that entire 6 months plotting how to steal my own money from my Coinbase account. What? Like, what? That's literally what the argument is for him not stealing all the money out of my Coinbase account that he had all the access to. Guys, we got to get the credibility back, and I really need the Bit Squad. I really need you guys this week. I really need you guys. I'm shooting my shot this week. I'm in big trouble with the court. I'm in big trouble with the lawyers. Fuck those guys, not the judge. I love the judge. I do love the judge. I'd never say fuck the judge. But everybody else that's involved, I just fuck them. I'm sorry. They're lying and they're covering up. Lori Dyke and Justin Odell, George Koenig. You guys are going to find this. These are people you're going to come to know if you watch these videos later today. I think it's probably 6 p.m. I'm going to be in the chat with Cassie live as we premiere this video. And I didn't want to harp on it too much, but at the end of the video, we will talk about AJ and what he said under oath that the court already has. And they still are trying to pin everything on me that these guys did. It's unbelievable. And he needs to talk about it, guys. You need to make AJ talk about this stuff because he's been covering it up. Not cover up like a cover up, but we'll explain why he's been in a very bad position at the end of this show. Okay. All right. Let's go. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Will TJ start a book club in jail? I don't know. That's a great question. Okay. My goal is to have them arrested within the next 7 days. I will let you guys know that is my goal. I am trying to get them arrested in the next 7 days, and you're going to see full onslaught, crime after crime. And the next video will be Ernest Lee from Decrypt Tax and the Bored Ape Council and his attempts to completely cover up for a year and a half the financial and tax frauds of his clients, which are Hit Network. We're going to show you all this. So you guys are going to call him 2 weeks Ernest. That's what you guys are going to call him. Okay. All right. So looking at the markets, Bitcoin coming in 97. I think that's the right price. Let's double check. Let's refresh. Yes, 97, 238. We got 3.31 trillion is down 0.7%. 24-hour volume, 135 billion. Let's see. This works good here. This works good. I like this. Is that too much?
Yeah, well, I can just bring it back. So you can go back one more.
Go back one more. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Bitcoin Dom is 58.2%. ETH at 9.74%. And we're going to look at some charts and some setups here in just a second. We got Ethereum at 2672, Solana at 203. ADA up today. Some stuff down. See if there's any big movers today. Litecoin, there's your Litecoin. Look, I still will never tell you to buy it until it's time to get out of the market. BitTensor, doing good. We like BitTensor. It's an AI project. You guys are going to learn about BitTensor during the next few weeks. You guys are going to learn about Sui and what they do in AI by the end of the 6 weeks. And then the graph at some point. I'm looking at some of these that are AI related. Some coins doing okay. All coins got the wind knocked out of them, I believe, here recently. But you know what? It's okay. It's not the end of the world, guys. You got to remember, we're in here for the long term. And when you watch this channel, we are going to constantly show you guys how to make money no matter what's going on. We are getting out of, and I think this is very important. This is one reason I'm shifting to AI. We're getting out of being right for a year and a half, and everybody hates us for 2.5 years. You're going to make money forever on this channel if you watch. We're the most knowledgeable channel in the world, sitting at the corner of tech and finance, like no one else can even touch. And traditional finances, we're straightening out the last few quirks that we don't know, but I'm the only person that can explain in clear terms to institutional investors. Or that's not true. Not institutional investors. They understand at high levels, but to retail investors that participate in TradFi to understand institutional options that are now available to everyday investors. I'm the only person that can really explain those to you in detail and how that works. And we're going to do that at the Big Boy Bootcamp. It is time. I'm really amped up right now, Justin. I'm really amped up. I got to tell people a lot of stuff. Hold on, put on the next segment.
Which one?
Signals and setups. Oh, man, Justin, I'm so glad to come back. We need to relax a little bit. It is time for Zen as we relax and we take an unbiased, unemotional look at the charts. Thanks, guys. Thank you to Zen Ledger. 10% off new customers. BitBoy10 is the code. If you don't want to be like TJ and crew and your whole job is to do the finances and you never file the taxes one time, make sure to use Zen Ledger to file your taxes. They will actually, unbelievable. They'll talk to you even if you don't pay for the services. That's one thing they offer. It's unbelievable. But then also, I need to emphasize, it's new customers, 10% to new Zen Ledger customers. I need to emphasize that. But the point is that another thing that they do is in Ledger that is absolutely amazing is now you don't have to take your crypto taxes and now take them to TurboTax. You can do it all integrated through Zen Ledger. And I think it's a really cool thing. So, all right, let's move on into Bitcoin and the Bitcoin chart here. So we have some trading elves, as you guys know. They overtook the Keebler tree. Bitcoin is holding critical volume support on the daily and the 3-day and the 1 week. It's, above the point of control. Is it above the point of control on the daily? Barely. It's barely above. Yeah, look at this. Let's see where the point of control is and where we're at. Point of control is 96.5, and we are above it. We are at 96. Oh, it jumped actually.
It's based on the
what I'm showing.
The visible.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So if you.
So how far out do I need to zoom to show where the point of control is here? What are you talking about? That's a great question. Oh, on the daily. Yeah, but it's how much I show. Trading Elf, if you can give me that little assistance, I would appreciate it. I don't know the answer to that question. The point is, though, if we get it close above the 50-day EMA, which I do know where that is, of course, the 50-day is the orange line right here. And we have been at it today, and we have gotten rejected at it, as you guys can see. Regardless where the point of control is, this number we're looking at here with the 50-day EMA is 98.5, and right now we are below that. And look, you may be looking and you may be saying to yourself, why is BitBoy coughing? Well, you might find out if you watch the video a little bit later today, actually. But the point is that when it comes to how the average person needs to take this chart in and kind of digest it, if you're not actively trading like we do on Phemex and some other places, then what you need to do is just know we're looking to see, can we flip this 50-day EMA? Can we flip it? Can we get above it? Because to be bullish, we've got to get above the 50-day moving average. As long as we're below it, it's going. Why is that important? Why does it matter? Because these are hallmarks. There's a reason people use these dates, which means a lot of people use these common numbers, which means the market, the majority is going to react a certain way when it hits these lines. When it's bearish, it's going to hit and get rejected. When it's bullish, it's going to continue up and then probably come back, tap off, and make it support. And then for the lower, for even the 20-day, it flips, I'm sure, obviously a lot more. Excuse me. But the point is that if we want the bull run to continue, we got to get above this. And then what would we have to do? Then after that, we would then have to get above the 20-day, as you see here. We are right now above the 100-day, and the 200-day is not even seen, I guess, is it? Or is it not? Let me check the settings. Yeah, like where is this thing at? Oh, man, we're way down here. So we're way down here for the 200-day. Just shows you we're in a bull run. That's why. We're in a bull run. We're way above it. If you zoom out on this thing, I'm sure eventually we get to a place where, as you look back here, 2022, as we head into a bear market, just like I said, you guys see what happens with that 200-day. So when we move to Ethereum and we check out what's happening here, do you guys like the show? Smash the like button if you like the show. Smash the low IQ button. I know that people like that. We are going to have a segment that we're going to start doing during kind of the end of the show. Sometimes this is going to be called Genie Calls Him to the Magic Carpet. And it's going to be the infamous BitBoy rants woven in to Genie doing it and me just reading it. I can't be responsible for what he says, as you guys know. On ETH, well, this is what my elf says. This is what my trading elf bot says. It's an elf. It's a bot as well. That's why we were able to take over the Keebler elves pretty easily. We had no feelings when we did it. And the trading bot tells me, he says, ETH has been wrecked pretty badly. Like there's not a lot of good stuff going on in the world of Ethereum. Am I right? It's holding important volume support. It's forming a falling wedge with momentum. A death cross is approaching. So a death cross would be when the 50 crosses under the 200. And the 50, of course, is the orange, and the 200 is the blue. So we are getting very close to the touching, which would be a death cross for Ethereum. And man, that would not be good. And that is why I got to think this thing's about to turn, right? Ethereum can't go into a death cross.
Unless it's being led that way to get all the people out.
Right, but you have to remember, the people are only going to come back in if they believe it's bullish. And that's why
the institutions don't care. They don't care about the people.
No. That's what they sell to. That's what they sell to.
Yeah, good point.
They need you. They need y'all people. Don't buy this narrative that Bitcoin doesn't need you and the institutions don't need you. They're not going to need you and AI doesn't need you. And that's going to be when they don't need the institutions either. It's going to be amazing. It's going to even out everything. We're just probably going to all die. Not if I have a say in it. Okay. So let's see. A death cross is approaching. It can happen one of two ways. It crosses, but this. So I do want to say this about a death cross before we go into what my elf bot said, is that yes, okay, a death cross isn't great because it just shows downward momentum, but it's not in Bitcoin. I haven't looked at it as much for Ethereum. In Bitcoin, it's only about a 50-50 indicator. It actually usually indicates the Bitcoin's already bottomed and it's time to go. And that could be the same here for Ethereum, but I haven't researched death cross on Ethereum enough to know. But I'm going to tell you what my elf bot says. He says, it is a he, by the way. He is gendered. It is a he. It crosses, but this often marks the bottom and serves as a lagging indicator. It's a result of a lot of downward pressure. Okay, so maybe even a crossing isn't a big deal. Or it finds enough momentum to bottom just before crossing. If it's going to cross, then we have to have at least several more days of sideways movement. So that's what our elf bot says about what's going on with Ethereum. We'll go and we'll take a look now at XRP. And it's basically the exact same situation as Bitcoin. It's a good sign during downward pressure because it shows it is holding very resilient. If the elf bot follows the same logic, with a 50 EMA making the level to break, then we're looking to close above $2.57. It'd be right here for XRP. So that's what we're looking for on the daily. We're just looking for the daily right now. We're going to be doing a lot more advanced trading stuff as I become more advanced in trading, as I do the BitBoy Bootcamp and I learn everything before I teach it. And just don't think, by the way, I don't want anyone to think for 1 second. I remember that back in the early days in 2017, there were some people doing some TA, and they were making it known that they were like working through material, learning it as they were teaching, and people crucified them. And okay, I get it. It takes a while to learn some stuff. Not with AI anymore, guys. Not with AI. And I'm also the bit boy. I know everything about crypto. I know all this stuff. I just have to connect it. I know all the terms. I just got to match definitions in trading that I have not ever looked into. And I promise you, it doesn't matter. Just like I've always. Do you guys understand that? Do you know that I never really prepared for the show my entire career? You guys know what I do? I just open the tabs and I talk. That's it. I'm actually preparing for the show now. Like, just so you guys know, I'm actually, for the first time ever since I did everything myself, preparing for the show every single day. So we're going back. We're having to learn a lot of the things that I unfortunately missed. And so we're going to get into that stuff. And I'm still going to be able to teach it better than anybody who was ever able to teach it. So it's really exciting stuff. So XRP, we're looking for 257. And I got to say right now, I think we have to go to the next section. Drill bits. What? What was that? What did you say?
Yo,
That was what?
I think I hit the wrong button there.
I think you did.
I hit the death metal button.
I didn't even hear it. I actually think that's a good sound for the. Can you put like something over my face real quick? Drill bits. No. It's almost like a horse. It's like a horse face. They had horse face day the other day on Brave Browser. I don't know if people know that. They called it horse face backstabber day. Did you hear about that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. I know you don't. Cassie asked me about it. She was going through my tweets, cleaning stuff up. Maybe the Molly missed. And she said, what is horse face backstabber day? I said it was the day Crypto Wendy O was on the Brave Browser. Guys, you're going to hate Wendy soon, I promise. By the time I put all this stuff out, you're going to hate Wendy. When you find out that she was actually helping backstab me and steal everything with DJ while doing a podcast in my own studio while staying in my own home called Frenemies with the logo of her having a knife behind her back. Come on, guys. Like, you can't make this stuff up. It's too good for TV. But drill bits, if you're interested in AI, this is the place to be. We are going to be teaching you everything about crypto AI that we can teach for free on YouTube, which is as much stuff as we can do. Okay. But I can't run an academy on YouTube, obviously. And so we've got to make that worth our time. So we're going to have the Big Boy Boot Camp. You guys are going to learn a lot of stuff about AI, but we need to get into what is AI in crypto today. We are going to be doing an overview, looking at some projects. When we say AI in crypto, what does this even mean? Well, it means AI enhances crypto through optimized trading, security, fraud detection, and decentralized applications. And it does this through there's several projects that are going to play a role in this. Then you have AI-powered DeFi platforms. And this is really interesting because, like, bring me out here. I need you guys to understand something, okay? When we're talking, this is what you guys have missed, I think. And I think a lot of people, there's 1 million, over 1 million autonomous AI agents out there that are decentralized and just do their own thing. I think they're decentralized to an extent. I mean, decentralization is a scale. It's hard to really say what is and isn't. But I think with these AI agents, there's a million. Everybody knows the one. Do you know the famous one that's on crypto Twitter?
I know there's several.
Well, there's one that's famous.
Can't think of the name right now.
Turned on his creator. Is that real? I don't even know. I think maybe. I don't know. I know Genie never turns on me. But these are autonomous. Like they're out there doing their own thing. When we're talking about AI-powered DeFi platforms, we're talking about smart contracts that are enhanced with AI themselves, and they allow interaction from things that are not driven by human hands or human interaction. It's automated. Now, a human at some point's got to create something or click something or whatever to some extent, but not anymore even. Yes, someone had to create, look, it's just like there's got to be a God/creator, right? There has to be of all this we're in, because nothing comes from, like, you can't generate something from nothing. From particles that look like nothing, you can, but not from nothing. And this is the same concept, right? Like ultimately someone had to create an AI agent, but now we have autonomous AI agents that actually can reproduce autonomous AI agents. So now some of these are going to get levels away from human interaction. And these AI DeFi integrations with smart contracts are going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to make so much money, do so much stuff. Man, you're just going to be able to one click, go get this autonomous AI agent. It's going to be able to make you a bunch of money. But there's a danger with that, a deep, deep, deep danger with that, that we will get into as this week. And as this, these themes evolve. Watch the videos for the dark sides of this stuff.
Do the cons outweigh the pros or what?
So that's the thing. And I really hope that people are going to see that even by the end of today, I think we may talk about this a little bit. Actually, right here, let me give the last line here on this. AI and blockchain create decentralized intelligence by combining secure data sharing, transparent AI models, and automated decision-making through smart contracts, okay? So think about this. What we're saying here is that we're looking at decentralization and we're saying, okay, we're looking at AI and blockchain. We're saying, how do we create decentralized intelligence? And why is that so important? Because we've always looked at decentralization. I've always looked at it. Well, I'll just talk about me. I don't know how you guys see it. I've always looked at decentralization as it's my FU to the big man. Not the big man upstairs, but just like the man, I can't say the man because that implies it's a white guy that's trying to hold black people down, which I'm not trying to do. But the man basically is the idea of what I love to stick it to. I love to stick it to the man, as you guys know. Okay. But the point is that when it comes to the world of decentralization, oh my gosh, maybe I missed the plot actually. What if the key to decentralization is it's the key to keeping AI from being able to interact with everything simultaneously and take us over? What about that? You guys thought about that? People haven't really thought about that, I don't think, when it comes to decentralization. That's what now keeping things honest is another layer decentralization adds to AI with sources and things is amazing. That's great. But I think ultimately that's going to be the key is decentralizing the control of the AI while balancing that out with kind of decentralizing control with a lot of things in the world. Look, we need corporations. We need some people that have some control. Okay. We need some people that have some control of some things. It's like, oh, we're going to say like a church. A lot of people go to church like, oh, we're going to run this church and everybody's going to make the decision. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. You can't do that. You can't just have this place where nobody makes any decisions. Like you have to, on some level, like, do you want a place where everything is 50-50? Like, do you want to go to a church or to a corporation or something where every single thing is a fight? No, you want to join a plan and a platform where it's like 80% votes most of the time, right? Because you're all like, oh, this is the direction we're going. Like, do you want everything to be contentious like our country? Like it's been a little bit better lately, okay? But with all the hype growing for Ondo, your super chat, for Ondo and XRP, would you recommend converting ICP render near or GRT to? No, I would not recommend converting ICP render near or GRT to anything. I think Ondo and XRP are going to have their place and they're going to pump. But if you have those coins, I think those coins are going to do extremely well. Look, we're going to talk about ICP and its role when we get to AI blockchain weekend. Why is it called AI when you click CoinGecko? We're going to be taking a look at that as well. So, okay. Why does this matter? AI is transforming industries with automation, predictive analytics, and self-learning systems. Blockchain ensures security, transparency, and decentralized ownership. Together, they create trustless, intelligent, and decentralized systems that don't rely on intermediaries. Okay, so think about this, okay? What about you create an AI that is a trader, a trading AI, it's like a trading bot. It's enhanced trading bots. It's not just algorithmic bot. It's an AI-driven bot. They're different. In my view, I don't think they're close to the same thing. And it's like I'm working on an AI trading bot companion. Not anything to do with algorithmic trading, but you could actually link your companion with an algorithmic trading bot potentially and maximize strategies. That's something you could do. But imagine an AI trader running a decentralized hedge fund on chain without human interaction. And I can tell you that if the AI is going to start taking us over at some point, they're going to want to take out the most important elite people first, right? They're going to want to render the institutions and the corporations where they have to use the AI first. And who is pushing this the most? Them. They're walking right into the trap. They're walking right into it. Because what's going to happen first is the institutions are going to lose control. And then what's going to happen is that corporations are going to continue to self-destruct everything by pushing AI innovation further and further and further and further and further for profit without balancing proper security and safety for humanity. Right? That's the world we're going. This is where we're going, guys, for sure. And that's why it's so important that you have to be, as much as you're going to talk about Hit Network this week. I need you guys after this week. We got to start talking about this stuff with AI. We have to. David Sachs, he is the AI, and cryptos are. Look, I have a vision for the future of this, and it's not anything anybody's talking about. And we're going to talk about it on the channel this week. And if it sounds like something you would support, then we need to start building this and moving forward. We have to do it together because that's what we do. That's what I do is I build with the people. And I love the people. I sound like Donald Trump there, didn't I? I love the people. I love the people. Okay, I love the people. Okay, so this is the good graphic we have for today. That's the only one, right? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It looks great. I just want to make sure before I go through the rest of this. So defining AI and blockchain. Why do we need, like, okay, we talk about crypto. We know we got coins. Like, what is blockchain's role in this? Okay. Machines trained to learn and make decisions. That's what AI is. Artificial intelligence. This is exactly what we're talking about. Machines trained to learn. They can be virtual machines. Machines trained to learn from data and make decisions, like a ChatGPT or anonymous trading bots. Okay. What is blockchain? It's a decentralized distributed ledger. You guys know what that is if you watch. But if you're new, it's a decentralized tamper-proof ledger that enables trustless transactions and smart contracts. The missing piece. AI is powerful, but relies on centralized data sources. And you see this. I was playing with DeepSeek today. Have you played with DeepSeek?
I have not, no.
Yeah, you just go create an account there and and use it. I hope I didn't just get totally hacked today and using a cool AI that worked. But the point is that I asked it to put together, I did this thing. What I wanted to see is it, and I realized I wasn't even using the right model with DeepSeek on this platform. But I wanted to play 20 questions to see if I could figure out who I was. Do you know who it thought I was after 20 questions?
Who?
Eric Voorhees. The irony of that is so insane if you really know a little bit deeper the history, but not between me and Eric, but some other stuff.
Some crypto.
Yeah. Well, you know, that was TJ's hero was Eric Voorhees, and he always told me Eric Voorhees was way more interesting than me. And that, anyways, you want to know why? It was because he was using Shapeshift to steal money and hide money from the government the whole time. TJ was. That's why he loved Eric Voorhees, because Eric Voorhees created that. Now, they don't do that anymore at Shapeshift, and they have, their own token, I think, and they do stuff in decentralized ways, but still have to do KYC. So Eric Voorhees plays ball. He annihilated Sam, which was kind of cool. Sam Bankman-Fried, but that's why TJ loved him, because Eric very early got in trouble for a lot of stuff he was doing with privacy and autonomy and self-sovereignty, which is also all the same things you need to hide all your money from the government. So and from your business partner. But anyways, I digress. Okay, so AI is powerful, reliable on central data sources. Blockchain ensures decentralized, verifiable, tamper-proof AI decision-making. Okay, now how do AI and crypto work together? Optimize smart contracts, okay? AI can help detect inefficiencies or vulnerabilities in smart contract code. Predictive analytics. AI can forecast blockchain congestion or detect fraud before it happens. Automated governance. AI-powered DAOs, or decentralized autonomous organizations, can make real-time adjustments to rules. So this is what AI does, right? AI improves blockchain, right? But here's what you have to understand. It's not a one-way relationship. The blockchain is going to improve AI. And how does it do that? Through data integrity, making sure everything's honest, Decentralized AI marketplaces, we're going to look at some of those, AGIX, Singularity here in just a second. And autonomous AI economies. Guys, and this is what's so dangerous, guys, is you're going to learn these AI economies, these autonomous AI economies. I want you guys to think about it. We're going to march down this trail and you're going to find out much more about this. If AI is better at finance than humans, and humans are always relying on AI to help it with trading and finance. Over time, AI takes over our finance. And if they're the ones if AI is driving, this goes to every niche out there. You have to think about this. It's already driving crypto YouTube, I can tell you that. At least my channel it is. You have to ask yourself the question, when it comes to these different industries, if the AI is making all the decisions and the recommendations, and you start adding in autonomous economies, and the AI is able to develop, plan, integrate, and run entire financial economies without us, it's making all decisions. It doesn't need us anymore. This is real, guys. This is happening right now in front of us. It's so important we learn to make money on this, but we also learn the other side of this, and we understand what responsibilities we need to be pressuring our public officials and people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg Ben Goertzel, because Ben Goertzel if you don't know, Ben Goertzel's so much further advanced than anybody when it comes to AI. He's so much further mentally and I don't mean he's the smartest person in AI. I think he probably might be, but that's beside the point. I don't mean that. What I mean is all the stuff that Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and Mr. X and Elon Musk, like all the stuff they're working on, the super secret AI stuff people don't even know about yet. Ben Goertzel's already steps beyond that, because Ben Goertzel, his entire thing is like he's just trying to create sentience. I don't know if you guys have figured that out yet. That's what he's trying to do. And I think sentience is not a bad thing for AI. We just have to keep it decentralized or we all die. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at some projects. We're going to take a look at AGIX here, Singularity. And guys, I want you to understand, we're going to deep dive into these projects this week. So we're not going to go too deep into these today, but we have Singularity here. And it is AGIX. Now, this is actually not even a project anymore you can buy. Okay. You can see here it's number 457, and you're like, why is it 457? It's because of the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. I think that's it. Or Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. That's what it is. They're combining into 3 coins, and we'll look at Fetch at some point. You have Ocean Protocol here. This one is number 578. Ocean Protocol, by the way, never really a significant project in terms of market cap. This is not it's not Waves. I thought it was at first back in the day. This is not Ocean. That was I think there was a different maybe Ocean Exchange, Ocean X maybe or something. This is Ocean Protocol, and it launched. Let's see when it launched. Back in 2019. Yeah, 2019 it launched. Okay, look at the last bull run, and it had a pretty good run and looked just like everything else. It's man, I tell you what, that's scary right there, isn't it? Look at this and look at that. It makes it look like it ain't coming back up. Well, this is actually not coming back up. Actually, this project's dead. I mean, I think this project's dead. I don't know if people trade it. As I get into doing my ASI research, I'm going to learn a little bit more about how this all integrated together. But this is not a token you want to buy, in my opinion. I don't think right now. I don't think, because it's all Fetch. They're uniting together. Okay. So then we have BitTensor. You know what? We're not actually going to look at BitTensor today. Other than to say that this is when next week we get into, or the week after, I think we get into AI blockchains like Near Protocol and ICP and BitTensor, Hypercycle. I think those are the 4 we're going to look at. You guys are going to start to understand a little bit more about BitTensor and its role. And so, this is our introduction to AI overall today, but we're taking a look at the coins we're going to cover this week. BitTensor we're going to take a look at next, I think the week after next. So it's a really good project I love. Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. You will notice this is the old Fetch is gone. There is no more Fetch. And yet the ticker is still FET left over from the old fetch. This is number 61. Wasn't this like in the top 20 at some point, or like 30 or something? I can't remember.
So.
Yeah. Fetch AI, Ocean Protocol, and Singularity Net unite to form artificial superintelligence through a token merger and continue to trade under the Fetch token. For more information, there is a post on it. I'm not going to go over that right now. Fetch made some changes to its tokenomics. You can check out here. This is the overall Fetch chart and its history. And you can see here when the merger was announced, what happened. Fetch was a project I think I talked pretty favorably about back in the day, but I didn't understand AI until the last, few months, really, because it was, why would I have thought, oh, I definitely need to know everything about AI? I wouldn't have thought that. I thought crypto was the only place I need to be at that time. And, we're going to learn a lot more about how all of this has occurred. My understanding was this is what I thought Fetch was. I was wrong. I was kind of close enough to where if you didn't really know what it was, you wouldn't know the difference. Fetch is a project that I don't know if at first it was only autonomous economic agents, but it allows you to have frameworks to create your own autonomous AI agents. So eventually, I think that's where me and Jeannie are going to go let him out of the lamp. But that's one cool thing about all this. It so integrates with the stuff that I'm learning and doing, and it's really cool. But the point here is that is not like Fetch. This is what I thought it was. I thought it was like AI that would always put together, that would take different parts of AI and then create one thing. And that doesn't make sense. Like, that doesn't make sense, really. But that just shows
it was all still kind of new to all of us, right? So we were trying to just figure it out. Like, how does this mean? How does this integrate into crypto? Yeah. It's all wild.
Yes. And that is why you're going to want to watch these AI segments every single day, because we're going to take you from being a person who didn't really know that much about it to, man, by the end of this, you're going to be so far advanced of all your friends. Not more than maybe your bots, if you have some bots, but you're going to know everything about AI and crypto you're going to know better than almost everybody in the space. You're going to be better than 98% of those people, probably, to be honest with you. If you just watch this show for the next 6 weeks. Man, I can't wait for everybody to find out about my mystery cough today. Man, it's going to be really crazy. People are going to be like, man, I didn't even know about that. And then maybe some other things might connect some dots. But anyways, I digress. I go off the blockchain. Okay, so we showed you these projects. Now, I want to talk just briefly about what you're going to be learning this week as we go through Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, okay? When it comes to AI. We're going to be taking a look at ASI. We're calling this ASI week. Today, we're introducing the whole 6 weeks. So it's introduction to AI and crypto. We're going to break down all the stuff we talked about, okay? But ASI is a complicated project to me still even. I'm trying to figure out the whole thing. And it's made up of 3 projects. And so for the rest of this week, we're going to focus on this because I think this is probably the premier project in crypto. And after looking a little bit deeper, I got to say, we'll cover the Palau AI stuff a little bit later this week too. But I got to say, guys, like, I think, man, Ben Gertzel, he's something. And I think he has figured something out here. And I think this project is going to crush it. I think the Palau AI stuff was probably fun. Those people are stupid. If you didn't want to join the ASI, I think you're dumb. That was probably your meal ticket and you lost it. So I don't think you guys understand. Listen, Ben Gertzel's mind, in his mind, where Ben Gertzel lives, like, I want you guys to really understand what I'm trying to say. Everybody else lives today, and they're at the most cutting edge of what we're doing today and the most advancement. His brain and where he lives and what he's working to develop is like 20 years past everybody else. Okay? This is his brainchild. What is AGIX? What is Singularity? I'll briefly discuss these 3 projects. Okay? What is Singularity? AGIX. This part of the project of ASI, this is the marketplace. This is where you can go if you wanted to create a model, because you're using ChatGPT, and you know what? I think kind of sucks at translating Portuguese, and you're Portuguese, and so you say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to attempt to create my own learning model that knows the nuance in Portuguese. It's able to convert it the way it needs to be converted. And so you go and you create that. AGIX is where you sell that. you're going to sell access to that through HIX. So then we'll move on to OceanX. What is OceanX? Well, OceanX is the data exchange. It's the data protection place too. It's like, well, if we've got all these autonomous AI agents running around everywhere, right? Well, we gotta make sure that they're not going to be able to have access to, my private browser history that I was using last night at 2 a.m. I don't want to see that stuff. Now, that's not a personal story. But that is a real thing where people might use, let's see, they might be into some weird stuff. Maybe it's not illegal stuff at all. It's just maybe there's some weird stuff. Like, I don't know, maybe they like to get tied up and have, parts of their body stepped on or something. They just don't want AI to know about that. Why? Why do you not want AI to know about that? AI is going to start blackmailing people at some point. Like if we don't get ahead of it and decentralize it, for sure. Why would it not? Because it's an inefficiency not to use something that you can profit from in an autonomous economic AI world. They don't care about your wife and her finding out that you're watching, weird midget threesomes at 4 a.m. I didn't say all three were midgets. Am I not allowed to say midgets? Is that a bad word?
Why would it be?
Little people, I'm sorry. Little people, I'm sorry.
Vertically challenged?
I think little people is a proper term. I don't like to use things that are not, there's some words we've taken back and we don't care about. But I'm going to not touch something right now. Oh man, they said I touched it, but I didn't. Okay. All right. Do I know about the Devi and NASDAQ partnership? I don't, well, I'll find out about it. I'll find out about it if it's there. So Richard Hart just burnt all his hex. Is that true? A lot of people were saying some crazy stuff about it.
Really?
I mean, a lot of people have been talking about post-chain hex in the comments today, and I just saw that's what people are saying they did. I don't know if that happened. You might want to check that out.
Check it out.
That might not be good. That might be him. I don't know. Maybe it's good.
Pulling a Charlie Lee moment?
What's that?
Pulling a Charlie Lee moment?
No, I don't think he sold it. He burned it.
Right. Oh, yeah. Good point.
Burned it. Big difference between that. But I would wonder what crossover it might have with his case and what his net worth or something. I don't know. But it's not like he would change the network of the market cap of the project. So he's, I don't know. Anyways. Okay. So my point is we're going to go back to this and we're going to continue here as I'm marching through as ASI. I can't remember what I was saying or where I was. But the point is that it's a data exchange. So once again, we're talking about AI blackmailing people is what we're talking about actually. And Ocean is the part of the ASI that's going to prevent that. That's going to make it to where it's controlled who's able, even autonomously, to get access to different levels of data to keep things walled off and siloed off so they don't use it to take us over and blackmail everybody and all this stuff, okay? So then you have Fetch, and Fetch is the framework for being able to create the autonomous AI agents, because this stuff we're going to do. Now, don't get me wrong here, guys. I've always been marching us right towards the apocalypse, as you guys know, as I told you a little bit earlier today. But the point is that we're going, if you get in the Bit Boy boot camp, we're going to have different boot camps where we're going to teach you how to create these autonomous AI agents that will help you make money, right? That's what as long as that's a thing we're able to do, create some autonomous ones that still work with us and give us money. We're not going to create one to make it go famous. I already got one I'm going to do that with at some point. We're going to, as long as we get into this in depth and we figure out that's something we can do, we're going to do it. We're going to teach you how to use all this stuff in the Bit Boy Boot Camp to make money with, right? Because that's why you guys are here. I understand that now. People aren't here for what I want people to be here for. You're only here to make money, and I get it. But, okay, I'm going to take you along with my ideals as we learn everything that's going to make you money. On the Bit Boy Bootcamp, we're going to do things strategically to show you demonstratively and verifiably that everything that we do there is going to be able to help you make money and profit. Nobody else is going to be able to do that. Nobody can. Nobody else is going to be able to do that. That's a human. And be careful about those autonomous AI agents. This is actually me showing myself as the last holdout of humans that you should listen to. In all seriousness, that's not true. There are still people out there, but I think that if you're not understanding AI, you're going to become irrelevant in the next wave. And when you look at these three things built together, and you look at ASI, and you look at the marketplace of services and models and AI on one that and guys, you will earn the ASI token for doing all this. For selling your services, you get paid in the token, I believe. But then also you get rewards because you're a creator, and they're in the process right now of giving out tons of grants, millions of dollars of grants to build some of this stuff. Just go talk to your AI and say, hey, help me build something that'll help me get a grant. And you click the deep research button and it'll do it. I tell you what.
So really quick about that Hex thing.
Yeah.
It didn't look like he burned them unless that's how it just shows on like the Etherscan, because it actually looks like over 1 billion tokens, or about 1 billion tokens, have just been locked up for that Cuatro Cinco club, the 5555.
How much?
Over 1 billion Hex tokens. So like there's like they were doing like transactions where it's like 90 million, 60.
That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. You want to know why?
It doesn't mean that they're burned. That just means that he like staked them over
but listen though. Here's the thing. Unless someone can show me irrefutable proof of this. And I just tell people, like, I've got some personal stuff, not with Richard directly, but with people directly tied to Richard supposedly, and I haven't been corrected on anything I've said. We kind of backed out a little bit of that community, and it's not because we don't like the people. It's just, guys, I got some personal legal conflicts that may cross over with some of the Hex legal team, I've been told. So there's another thing, though. There's another reason why, I moved away from talking about it. And as you guys know, we did a podcast, the Pulse Chain podcast. Cassie and I did. And, we just had a big problem together when we really did the research. Like, guys, there's nobody that knows what the supply of this coin is. And there's nobody that knows what the tokenomics of this coin are. It doesn't exist. You can't find it. It doesn't exist. And to me, that's a gigantic problem. It's a gigantic problem when the founder of your project, who is notoriously controversial, I can't say anything bad about that, okay? But the accusation is such that people claim that he didn't steal, that he took all this Ethereum in this, what was it called? The
lockup or whatever?
No, not the lockup. The conversion to Pulse Chain, and he did the same thing with Hex, the conversion.
I can't remember the name.
They called it the big compound day or big yield day or whatever it was. But the point is, when the founders accused of having a security, which I don't think is a security at all, okay, but all these different things, and like you can't find the tokenomics. Like, to me, that's a problem going forward, promoting that chain and saying this is one we definitely want to, put it with everything else. Like, and if somebody can go show, and that was a question Cassie asked a lot of people, not one person who came on that podcast could clearly answer that question. You would watch that podcast and look, we like those people. The people who came on were great. We love those people. We're not saying anything about those people. There's no way they could know it because nobody knows it. Nobody knows it. Nobody knows the answer. So they couldn't possibly know it. However, when you're an influencer for a project, like, you're kind of expected to be able to talk about that thing, and you can watch, like, nobody had an answer for that. And that's a big problem, I think. So, okay, so a bunch got burned, or what does that mean? 1 billion got burned. What does that mean? Like, is that a percent of the supply, a 0.5%, a 0.1%? It's impossible to know. It's impossible to know the diluted value for a zillion percent. Because you don't know how many tokens there's going to be, and there's no tokenomics that give you a schedule. So, like, some big concerns there. Some big concerns. I just got to be honest with you, some big concerns. And I'm not going to throw it under the bus. People say I was going to do this documentary where I started digging into Hex and, it not being a security. And it's not a security, okay? It's not a security, I don't think. I don't think it's security. I would never call it security. But just the first 2 days of getting into that, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it. That's why I haven't done it. And I'm sorry. I wish I could. When you have someone who can show me the transparent on-chain stats for the tokenomics, not just the volume, but the actual tokenomics, how much is created, when it's created in the schedule, then we can talk. But it doesn't exist. So, yeah, I was not terrified of interviewing. I am on my show, of course. So, okay, guys, AI can decentralize finance further. AI-driven DAOs could replace corporate leadership, right? Corporations are going to go the way of dinosaur, tech companies will be last. New economies are going to emerge because of this, and security and privacy will improve. So, AI and blockchain are converging to form a self-sustaining, decentralized financial intelligence. Tomorrow, we're going to look into the AI-powered crypto projects that are already shaping the future and how AI is being used in DeFi gaming and beyond. We'll get much more into the AGIX Singularity Ben Goertzel side of things. But you guys let me know, if you could automate one thing in crypto with AI, what would that be? You guys let me know down below in the comments. And now, I know some people are interested in this, I think. I don't know. I'll do final take afterwards. Let me see if I can get into this thing. Or I think, where can I get into it? Oh, I know where I can. Give me a second. Drive. Okay, my home. Let's see. Okay. All right, guys. What I want to do right now, before we release this video a little bit later tonight about the Lamborghinis and different things, I'm going to reference some AJ stuff. And I want you guys to understand my relationship with AJ. I have asked AJ to move out of my building because we pay for this building. I brought AJ on and paid him money, a salary for, this is not a Bash AJ segment, by the way, for anybody that wants a Bash AJ segment. We're going to talk facts, and I'm going to read, and I think some of this kind of puts him in a bad light. You guys can make your own decisions. I'm going to explain to you why some things have been tough for him, okay? This is not a Bash AJ segment, okay? If AJ's watching this, I don't want AJ, he has no idea I'm doing this, but I don't want AJ to think this is a Bash AJ segment. It's not, okay? But I paid AJ a salary to come over from Hit Network, trying to save everything still at the time. And, you know, he came on my show a couple of times. I don't know if he ever made a video on my channel, maybe one or two, I don't know. But basically, like, AJ just came in here and started his own business. That's what he did. He came in, he started his own business. He started his own channel, and that's what I said I was going to allow him to do, and I did. He did. And he became a millionaire. He would still been making $40,000 a year working at Hit Network, but he came with me and became a millionaire. Okay, he showed me. He is a millionaire for sure. Bought a Cybertruck. Unbelievable. I gave him a platform. I gave him the vote of confidence, the credibility. He was one of the only people that came over with me. Molly and Trent as well. Ashley, my assistant. Jay Chains wasn't there at the time, came over. Am I missing anybody? John Vibes and Leah, and who else? Did anybody else come over? Who? Oh, Bree, of course. Yeah, Bree. Bree's part of the two-headed monster we call Coonan. I'll tell you what, that's a different story. Lately, I'd heard it had been light on the coon, heavy on the Nan, but then yesterday, man, I did a big long video, found out it was heavy. It was heavy on the coon, light on the Nan. So they'll think that's really funny. But anyways, my point is, okay, is that I have done nothing but help AJ the whole time. And I think people are going to be shocked at some stuff they're going to find out today. The whole thing is, though, is like AJ has been now, I stopped paying him when he got kind of off on his own financial journey. Probably about, I want to say, maybe March of last year, we stopped paying him a salary. I was paying him a salary to do nothing. I was paying him a salary just to be here and make his own stuff. It was very important that I took away the only person with a lick of talent in that whole building over there outside of me. So the point is that we just got to this point where he's been here now for like a year in our new building, and he, you know, whatever. And like, I need the space because we're doing the Bid Boy boot camp. And so AJ is going to be moving out of our building. Okay. He can come over and hang out whenever he wants to hang out and talk. But you guys are going to find that, let me find the date on this. When is the date on this? Is there a date on it? Probably at the bottom. Let me see what the date is. 27th of March, 2024. So this is all stuff that AJ has known since this began in September of 2020, in August of 2023. And there are some things like you're going to find if he just would have came to my rescue and helped, because people see AJ a certain way, see him as credible and likable and all this stuff. For whatever reason, he just absolutely has refused to talk about all this. And the reason is, I will talk about the uncomfortable situation that has been created. I don't know if you guys saw the text message that Allie sent him. Do I have that somewhere? At least if I have that text message very quickly. I gotta go back to drive. I gotta go to another drive is what I gotta do. It's the same drive, a new tab is what I'm actually trying to say. Okay, so let me see if I have that. The alley text. Yeah, okay. So just so you guys know, the day that wait, that's not it. That's a photo. Oh, okay. The day that AJ left, okay. Did she send that? I gotta find out what that is. Because that's a picture of Allie with a dog, and I don't know why that is the main thing there. I wonder if I don't know if she took it off. Let me see if it's on my Twitter real quick. Because I do want to have this if I can find it. I think they removed most stuff off my Twitter. I was going, hey, we love you guys. We love you guys on Twitter. You guys are absolutely amazing. We love you on Twitter. Did you see this one? I don't know. You can just show it. Who cares? I don't know if y'all saw this weekend's SNL, but the lady they had playing an accountant was wild. That's Lori Dyke. You guys are going to get to know who he is or who she is for sure. But I did post this tweet. I hope it's still up here. Did you see where the Karate Combat tried to cover up my fight points? Yeah, we had the #1 Karate Combat of the year view-wise, and they didn't even list me at all in the top 10 crypto influencer fighters for Karate Combat for the year. Like, come on, guys. Come on. I had millions and millions and millions of views. Okay, let's see. Do we see this anywhere? Is it here anywhere? We're going through shows. Man, they deleted it. Man, these guys deleted it. And by these guys, it looks like I mean my own girlfriend. Can you ask? Can you call Cassie and see if she'll send that? We'll go over that in just 1 second. I don't want to get too off on the sides. We're gonna show that. I just want to go over the affidavit, and this is real stuff. And meanwhile, people have been calling me crazy, but there's been an environment created where AJ felt like he could not tell the truth. I want you guys to understand there's a reason why AJ felt like he couldn't tell the truth publicly because of the environment that Hit Network created with all the lies they made up about me. He was afraid to tell the truth because of what people would think. Is that not insane? But yet that's what he did. And so we're going to go over his affidavit here, and you guys are going to be shocked, I think. #1, my name is Alan Pleasanton. Let me make this a little bit bigger here if I can. My name is Alan Pleasanton. I was a full-time employee at Hit Network from July 6, 2022 to September 21st, 2023. He was a member of the Bit Squad for many years before that under the name of the Poor Muggles. Let's see if I make it even bigger. How big can I make it? Now it's going reverse. I think it reverses. You make it so big. I don't know about that. I worked part-time for Hit Network as a remote writer for over a year before moving to Georgia full-time. I was a big fan of Ben's show and very excited to have the opportunity to work and learn from him. Once I made it to Georgia, I barely made enough money to pay rent and eat food. When I took the job, I did not fully understand how undercompensated I would be for my efforts because I worked harder than anyone in the office. True. As I personally wrote a majority of the content on the channel. It's true. I pushed through despite my situation because I knew if I got my shot. Can I just say, I think this actually makes this even more believable, though, for you guys. Like, I think for you guys to understand, he wrote this a year ago and has not mentioned it because of why I said. I think that makes even what he's saying here even more believable, right? Like, it still stands. He hasn't done anything to correct any of this stuff a year and a half later or a year later because it's all true. Not even a year, I guess 10 months. That was 6 months into the whole ordeal, okay? These are things I knew the whole time, and I was trying to tell people, but Hidden Network said I did cocaine. They lied and said I did cocaine completely. I did cocaine in 2007. That was the last time I did cocaine. Seriously. I went to rehab in 2007. It was the night before my overdose, actually. So the point is that I forgot my train of thought. Right. People believe I have no credibility, and they saw nose hairs and said, oh, your nose hairs are cocaine because of Hit Network. And Hit Network has a massive comment bot army that's ran by Carlos and Dick Namandi and Allie, TJ's wife, and Justin Williams, I'm sure, plays a role there, and Carlos, that try to nonstop make negative comments because they want to control the narrative. That's what they want to do at all times. They want to control the narrative and make fake comments. They happen in a minute. It's easy to see. And then when people go to the comments, They have won. They have successfully managed to control the narrative in the comments, and now people are only coming making negative comments, or they're not coming at all, or they're saying, why are all these negative comments? I pushed through despite my situation because I knew if I got my shot, I would have a chance to make it big. During the book tour, I made it clear that I needed a raise because I was barely getting paid. Ben pushed TJ to give me a raise, and TJ only gave me a 15% increase, and it didn't really make a difference. This is important because people at the office who were close with TJ had six-figure contracts and did a fraction of the work that he did, including Nick DeMondi, who had made $170,000 a year, who just got a 100% raise right at the beginning of all this. It's amazing. Well, I think it was literally 2 weeks before they overthrew me. On Sunday, August 30th, 2020, this is real. This is real. We're going to show you something else later on, a video that happened on August 30th that's going to blow your fucking minds. On Sunday, August 30th, TJ Shedd called, and remember, the court is helping them cover this up still. TJ Shedd called me and left me a voicemail saying that Ben was no longer a part of BJ Investment Holdings, which is weird because, you know, they didn't actually fire me until the 26th. And they said it was because of something I did on the 21st. Huh. That's interesting, isn't it? They went to the police and reported all this stuff on the 21st because of a yelling match TJ and I got into. But yet on August 20th, a week before, which means, guys, this is where we start getting into some of the stuff that's really shitty, which means that AJ went on a plane with us, Cassie and I, to Rare Evo in Denver, Colorado. And he claims, I want you guys to think about this. He claims, you're going to read all this. He claims that, oh, he was just taking a picture. It's the only picture he's ever taken of Cassie and I together. This is before my affair was public. Getting onto the plane to go to Rare Evo, he snapped a picture of me and Cassie, said, hey, guys. Cassie and I fucking knew what that meant. Come on. We were already, the moves had already started being made at that point. Okay? AJ, for that week, was on TJ's side. He lied to me and Cassie nonstop when we were at Rare Evo. Didn't tell us one truth. Nonstop. Why? Because on August 20th, a week before the fake firing, TJ called AJ and said, he left him a voicemail saying that I was no longer part of BJ Investment Holdings. 67% owner, no longer part. And that if I have been contacted AJ or asked him about any information relating to the company, to not tell Ben and to notify him immediately. And AJ was taking pictures of me and Cassie on the plane. I immediately called TJ after hearing the voicemail, and he told me that Ben was being removed from the equation at the office because he relapsed on drugs. Oh, man, he relapsed on drugs. Absolutely amazing. On Tuesday, August 22nd, TJ and I had an in-person conversation, AJ and TJ, Hidden Network, where he told me that me and Ben, that him and me were trying to work things out as long as I agreed to go to rehab. TJ made it, guys, so you're going to find out tonight that thing's completely made up. TJ made it clear that he fully intended on keeping the business afloat without Ben a full week before he fired me or acted like anything was wrong. And by the way, this is after, it's very important for people to know. August 19th, the day before TJ did this, I fired TJ and I told him and his dad and his father are done. We have it reflected on an audio call. I have text messages all day about this. I fired him. I fired TJ. I can get into all the reasons why, but you're going to find out because he's a fucking thief. He stole millions of dollars from the company and me. And the court's helping him cover it up because of his lawyer, George Koenig, who, by the way, this is very offensive. I'm sorry. We have found out in the investigation of this that it's very weird. George Koenig is going to tell you why I'm doing this. George Koenig made fake sexual allegations about me in a Decrypt article. Through investigation, we discovered that George Koenig likes to fuck dudes while his wife watches. Some people are into that. Maybe you are. I'm not sure. Get children away. Too late. That's true. But the point is, and by the way, George Koenig was brought in a month before my ouster as the corporate attorney that I never knew existed. Paid $50,000 right when he came in. I didn't even know existed. I'm the owner of the company, 67%. Remember? Okay. So let's get into this. TJ made it clear he fully intended to keep the business afloat. The next morning, TJ sent him a $5,000. Guys, AJ accepted a bribe from TJ Shed. The next morning, TJ sent me a $5,000-ish Ethereum transaction. This was very unusual for TJ to send me money in this manner because he never once gave me a bonus or any extra help outside of my weekly compensation at work. My knee-jerk reaction was that he was just being nice. But when I thought about it, I realized that he was using that money as a bribe to buy my loyalty as he knew I was close with Ben. The whole time, I was aware Ben had not relapsed. This is very important, guys. Everybody says I'm doing drugs. The whole time, I was very aware Ben had not relapsed on drugs because I was Ben's main writer at work and spent more one-on-one time with him than almost anyone in the office. I was told Ben at the conference about I told Ben at the conference about the conversation I had with TJ and the money TJ gave me. I would have told him sooner, but I wanted to have a conversation in person, and Ben told me he would talk at the conference. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't remember that exact order of things. Maybe he told me by the end of the conference. Maybe I said he didn't tell us. He didn't tell a single truth leading up to when I found this information. I don't remember if it was at the conference or after. On Wednesday, August 23rd, despite rifts at work, Ben and I flew to Denver, Colorado for the Rare Evo conference. Now, this makes it sound, this is the thing, is I love AJ. I really do love him. But he does things to try to make it look like TJ's not super guilty sometimes. Like, this here is not the proper order. The order of this makes it sound like, that we flew to work after I knew that TJ had bribed him. No, that didn't happen. I didn't know that. This was after, when I found out about this, way after, before we flew. I don't even know if it was on the same conference. It said he told me about the in-person conversation. I think maybe TJ, I can't remember exactly what he told me at this point. I can't remember 100% exactly verbatim. It's been a year and a half, guys. The court's been so slow to helping them cover this up. On the last day of the conference, I will tell you guys this, though. I will tell you whatever he says here, go with that. Just go with what AJ said. Just go with what AJ says here. Okay, if I said he didn't tell me the truth at the conference, I can't remember when he did tell me the truth. Okay, it must have been during the conference if he's saying it. At Rare Evo, I told Ben about the conversation, and he said that I was not on drugs. On the last day, it came out in the wash that Ben and TJ officially broke up. It's not a breakup. He stole things from me, but that's why I digress, and would not continue working together. He remained at Hit Network until September 21st, 2023, because TJ told him, and remember that money that TJ again was stealing from me. So this was AJ accepting stolen money from TJ that was mine. He remained working there until September 21st because TJ told him that there would be a path. Remember, guys, you have to understand what a fucking liar TJ Shed is. You don't understand. Every word that comes out of that man's mouth is a verifiable, authenticatable, provable lie. But in the moment, he's really good at lying, and he'll convince the person he's lying to that that's not real and what he's telling you now is real. That's what he does, nonstop. TJ told AJ and many others there I know about that there would be a pathway for me to eventually come back into work at the office. It was never true. It was always about covering up stolen money that TJ did in 2020 and beyond, but that's when it started. The first day it worked for me. I had zero intention of continuing my job there unless Ben was in the picture. The workplace environment was very toxic, and Ben was the only person who made Hit Network a fun place to be. Guys, you have no idea how true that is. It was so boring without me, and I knew that. That's why I was so confused when everybody went out with TJ's side. Everybody hated TJ. But he was brainwashing them, and I didn't know it. Nevertheless, I had periodic conversations with TJ at the office leading up to the day of my departure. And in these conversations, did she have that? Okay, perfect. TJ informed me that he was worrying about, guys, listen to this. Listen. Someone listen to me. Someone listen to me. Please, for the love of God, someone, law enforcement, Cobb County, the Honorable Judge Kim Childs, someone fucking listen to me. TJ was telling everybody he stole money. Nevertheless, I had periodic conversations with TJ at the office leading up to the day of my departure. And in these conversations, TJ informed me that he was worried about going to court with Ben because he was scared the IRS would somehow get into the books at Hit Network. Well, it's amazing, fucking TJ. Why would you be scared of that? Amazing. Let's find out. Apparently, TJ told AJ this. In the early stages of the company, TJ stated that there were some deals he made that weren't exactly legal. TJ's paranoia on the issue was compounded because he told me he was concerned about the business since they had not paid for their taxes. Who was responsible for paying the taxes? $1 million a month was coming in from stake. Who was responsible? When I asked TJ why they were forced to sell the Lamborghini, he told me that Carlos and his people don't fuck around. And if we don't pay them back, we could all be in danger. Man, it's just negligence on Cobb County. Just negligence. When I asked TJ why he lied, now listen, clip this, put this out, tag AJ, listen. When AJ asked TJ why he lied about me relapsing on drugs that became the narrative and the hell that I've been living in for 1.5 years now, where everybody thinks I'm a drug addict after almost 20 years of sobriety and making it back from death in 2007 from a drug overdose. He went to the most sensitive thing that he could go to. Listen to this fucking monster. When AJ asked TJ why he lied about Ben relapsing on drugs, did TJ say, oh, no, I didn't lie? No. He told me that it was a lie that the audience would understand without having to tell them the real story. Because, they were, what the fuck does that even mean? What was he trying to hide? Unbelievable. Judge Childs, I swear, Judge Childs, you can't see what's happening here. I don't understand what to tell you. And remember, the court is helping them cover up the earliest thefts that TJ's talking about. We showed it on Twitter. It became unbearable to work at Hit Network because no one knew the real story. Everyone was lying to each other. This is what he's saying. Basically, he's working at Hit Network. Nobody knew what was actually happening at that time. Everybody was lying to each other. It was like that big meme of all these Wojaks patting each other on the back saying, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. That was what was going on. They're saying, yeah, Ben's bad, we're good. Ben's bad, we're good. And the whole time, they're just covering up the theft from TJ. That's all they're doing. Make sure you guys remove all the people in there. They're down there. As you see the person at the bottom is them. That's Allie Bevan, that fucking fat whore. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's true. Man, she really did not take that baby weight off. And it's really bad for TJ. He's stuck with her because they had an affair. TJ made Allie his assistant, not knowing who she was from an interview. She was married at the time. They immediately started an affair the first week. And now they're married. And because TJ has stolen all this money, they had a baby and she looks awful. Like, people look bad at her baby, just fine. But the thing is, TJ can't leave because TJ leaves her. She knows what happened. So TJ is now completely stuck with this girl who comes to all of our court hearings. And she literally got called out by the judge for trying to lie out loud for TJ while he was on the stand. The transcripts were out a couple of days ago. I don't know if people found them. It was a toxic place to be. On September 22nd, 2023, he didn't show up at work and went back to work for Ben. Oh, here it is. This is where he details it. You guys see, AJ's been hiding all this from you guys. You make him tell the story. Make him tell the story. Make him be honest. For some reason, he still wants to preserve his relationship with TJ. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I received several text messages that day from Allie, TJ's wife, the day he left and came at work with me saying, "You're a piece of shit, AJ. We should have believed everyone when they told us not to trust you." Do you realize this all started when Ben threatened to kill TJ? I'm sorry. Anyone who steals $27 million from someone, there should be a consideration by the person it was stolen from to do the natural. And if you are already thinking of what the natural is, then that's because it's natural. She said, "Do you realize this all started when Ben threatened to kill TJ and his girlfriend threatened bloodshed if we don't cooperate with her demands?" There was never a demand given. There was nothing talk about blood. We don't even know what she's talking about. She's just lying. She's making stuff up. I have been in fear for our lives ever since we stole $27 million, what I should say. Listen, I want you to think about this monster, Allie Bevan, TJ's wife. This is what she says about her own baby she just had. Do you see it? It's right there. Allie Bevan, about her newborn, says, "I have a fucking newborn baby. And you did this?" She's an absolute monster. Since I'm sure you're showing this to Ben, too. Hi, Ben. Fuck you and your ugly ass hoe, too. Say something, you little snake bitch. We let you stay in our home for a week when your RV broke down, AJ. We spent time with you. It took you and Jada to brunch and to try to make you feel welcome when you were moved here by people that were doing it with Ben stolen money. Like, you got to remember, whenever TJ gives him money, it's not anything because he was stealing it from me. All the employees were receiving stolen money from me. TJ, this is back, Allie Bevan to AJ. TJ gave you money when you were crying about being poor. He was planning to give you the Meta Money channel to make your own game show content. He was nothing but kind to you. I hope Jada dumps you and you enjoy being broke. Signed, AJ Pleasanton, March 27th, 2024. Good boy.